This is Hungry Shark World, a game that goes from regular looking sharks to reality bending, physics breaking, dimension altering monsters. I'm gonna complete 100% of the game. That means I not only have to unlock all 46 sharks in the game, but I'll also have to complete all 184 challenges, some of which are a serious pain to complete. And of course, there are also the 20 achievements. This took just over 100 hours to complete. If you're currently living on the planet Earth, consider leaving a like on the video and hitting the subscribe button. Anyway, what better place to start than the first shark, the black tip reef shark. This thing was not only gold colored, but apparently it was pretty gassy too. I don't really know what that's about. I was then given my first pet for free. This little guy is the Kraken. Now, one of the biggest downsides of the first and the other early sharks too is that you can't eat a lot of the other sharks in the ocean as of yet. So picking a fight means becoming seafood. After that run, I unlocked the OG Chris 2D as a daily reward. And as you can see, there are a ton of rewards to be unlocked. They even throw in a couple sharks on some days. Apart from the sharks themselves, the game also has a total of 4 oceans, 3 of which need to be unlocked. Getting back on track, if I'm going to 100% the game, I need to complete every challenge in the game. For the first shark, I had to get 10,000 points total, eat 50 of any edible, and collect 500 total coins. These challenges were easy as expected, but after completing the first 3 challenges, you unlock the final challenge. In this case, I had to eat all the money in the Pacific Islands Ocean. Oh, there's actual money in this. There's actual pieces of money. That's crazy. The next shark was the white tip reef shark. Thanks to that, I could now eat 2 other species, and I could also break through bone, allowing me to access more of the ocean. For the challenges, I had to get 25,000 points, eat 5 blobfish, and collect a total of 1,000 coins. Whoever completed challenge, the progress bar for Shark Jiro will progress. At this point, I really thought they were just gonna give me this shark for free after completing the number of challenges, but these were more like upgrades for the shark. We'll get to that. We'll get to Shark Jiro a bit later, but for now, I had to eat all the low-flying birds on Pacific Islands in one swim. The next shark was Poor Beagle. I'm pretty sure that's how you say that. And the challenges were once again pretty straightforward. Honestly, I feel like this is a strategy to make you comfortable, only to throw in a nonsensical challenge at some point. And believe me, we are getting to the nonsensical challenges. After maxing out the Poor Beagle's stats, I had to get the shark dripped out. Now, besides how clean the fit is, all the pieces gave a percentage of increase in food bonus. Unlocking the Poor Beagle also unlocked the Arctic Ocean. And that brings a bunch of new ocean creatures and also the military, apparently. But of course, I still had challenges to complete, like collecting 60,000 points total, collecting 1,250 coins, and eating 5 stingray. But of course, that wasn't the end, because now I had to defeat my arch nemesis. And this is where the frustration began. See, the way the game shows you the destination of quests is a portal for some reason. And so I got super confused when interacting with the portal, and it gave me progress to my challenge. Oh yeah, it's close now. Who's this? Oh, this is a portal I need to go in. Wait, what? Find and defeat your nemesis on Pacific Island. That was my nemesis. While struggling with that quest, I got the achievements Marathon, Shark, and Good Score. One for swimming 42 kilometers with any one shark, and the other for scoring over 500,000 points in one game. Eventually, I figured out that to complete the challenge, I had to eat the very obviously red shark. And the portal was just a guiding light, basically. Really strange choice to make a portal as a marker, but to each their own. After that round, I got the achievement High Score, which was for scoring over 1 million points in one game. The next shark was the blue shark. This guy was blue and he was quick. That's pretty much it. For the shark's final challenge, I had to eat all the fish near the sunken ship on Pacific Island within the time limit. The next shark was Spike. When boosting, spikes protrude out of that abscess growth on its back. If anything touches those spikes, they either get stunned or they get damaged. And of course, the challenges were pretty straightforward still. I had to stun 100 things, get 3,000 points from one edible, and get 5 gems in one swim. And for the final challenge, I had to find misplaced fast food delivery in the Arctic Ocean. I was genuinely expecting a frozen pizza, but instead it's genuinely just a portal again. Strange. After that was the sand shark. I can now eat a lot more creatures and also break through stone, meaning I now had even more access to the rest of the ocean. Let's see what the challenges are like for this one. Collect 150,000 points in one swim, eat 30 anglerfish, collect 1,000 coins in one swim. Again, pretty easy. I would say even easier than the last. the last challenges I had to do. It was at this point I unlocked the Arabian Sea. I also kind of forgot to mention this game has two versions of a gold rush. A regular gold rush turns everything into gold that you can eat. You also get infinite stamina. A mega gold rush turns everything and even the things that you usually can't eat into gold. On top of that, it also lasts much longer than a normal gold rush. It was thanks to a mega gold rush I was able to knock out the challenge for getting 150,000 points in one swim and the challenge for collecting 1,000 coins in one swim. For the next challenge, I had to eat 30 anglerfish. And for the final challenge, I had to find and eat one giant enemy crab. Oh, there it is! And as you can see, even though the quest required I only eat one giant crab, for some reason the progress bar wouldn't reflect that, so I decided to spend some gems to skip this challenge. Clearly it was bugged. The next shark was Thresher. It's blue and super quick. I feel like I'm getting deja vu. Anyway, the challenges were pretty similar as always, except I now had to eat 25 turtles. Then for the final challenge, I had to defeat my rivals on Pacific Islands in one swim. The shark after that was the smooth hammerhead. Honestly, if it was up to me, I would have called this the Tex neck hammerhead. Get it? Because it looks like it has Tex neck. The challenges were once again pretty straightforward. Still not a crazy deviation from the other challenges, but for the final quest, I had to rescue a friend by removing obstacles with explosives. Next up was the first shark with an actual ability, the Hades shark. Swim near any solid surface to become invisible. Use your camouflage to escape predators and surprise prey. Become visible again if you boost or move into open waters. So if you hug up against like a wall, you're invisible? That sounds pretty good actually. That sounds pretty good to me. A double mega gold rush? Oh, there we go. 7,500 points from one edible. Alright, let's test out the invisibility. So if I hug up against this, that's pretty cool. It's useful when there's enemies chasing you, I think. That's pretty good. For the shark's final challenge, I had to find the shark hideout on Arabian Sea and steal the food. Seafood? No. It's soggy fast food. Once that shark was done, next up was the bull shark, which means we've entered the large variants of sharks. That also means I can now take on a bunch of new sharks and break through steel barriers. Now the challenges had begun to pick up because I had to eat 100 sharks and gain 100,000 points in under 2 minutes. And at this point, I had unlocked the final ocean, the South China Sea. Don't get me wrong, this is a pretty sick ocean, but some of the threats in this location make it pretty bad for completing challenges consistently. So I went back to the OG and immediately completed the challenge for getting 100,000 points in under 2 minutes. Immediately followed by the challenge for getting 300 coins in one gold rush. All that was left now was to eat 92 more sharks. So here's a shark consumption montage. Trust me, sharks are being eaten in this footage for sure. Once that was done, the final challenge was to stop the bully sharks on Arabian Sea. Next up was the goblin shark, and this is most definitely the result of some kind of experimentation. I figured now was a good time to get geared up, specifically with the warrior armor set, which for every piece you equipped reduces health drain by a certain amount. Obviously I didn't have enough gems for this thing, so I had to use the time travel method. Whenever a game has daily rewards like this, you can just change the date on your device and get some free currency. In this case, free gems. That's some free ball knowledge for some of you. Anyway, I did that a couple times, enough to get the full armor set, giving me some pretty significant reduced health drain. The challenges this time around were to eat 100 Arctic char, get 250,000 points in one swim, and get 400 coins in one gold rush. All easy enough. For the final challenge, I had to eat all the jellyfish at Gullion Hull. The next shark was the Mako shark. I can now equip 2 pets, so I got Archie the eagle and Trevor, he eats mines. The Mako shark is another shark that does shark things. After that was the Echo shark, which besides looking like a dolphin shark hybrid had one of the worst challenges so far, being that I had to collect 10 gems in one swim. Pretty crazy given the max I've been able to collect in one swim was 5 gems. After trying multiple times, I decided to try the extinction mode. This mode exists to give you pearls that you need to unlock sharks later. We'll get to that soon, but right now I was hoping this mode would also give more gems. I'm not gonna lie to you, I ended up skipping that dumb gem challenge, and for the final quest I had to race through checkpoints and survive the minefields on South China Sea. And then things started to get a little bit expensive, so I had to spend some time farming gold before the next shark. While doing that, I got the achievement Red Ocean for eating a total of 1,000 humans. Anyway, once I had enough coin, I unlocked the first shark in the extra large category, the Mega Mouth shark. It was thanks to this shark I could now eat tiger sharks, hammerhead sharks, and blue jellyfish, as well as getting the ability to break through the next barrier type. And this thing was, I don't know, it really did just have a big mouth. That's pretty much it. While playing as this shark, I got the achievement Tastes Better Than It Looks for eating a total of 500 blobfish. For the final challenge, I had to eat the squid horde on Arabian Sea. Once that was complete, I got the achievement Calamari for eating 500 squid. The next shark was the Great Hammerhead. I'm not gonna lie, this is just the reskinned version of the Smooth Hammerhead. The challenges on this shark were a completely different beast, notably the challenge to eat 750 blue jellyfish. My plan was to find the places the jellyfish spawn in and just keep going to those spots every round. My final challenge, I had to defeat the Nemesis sharks hiding in the Arctic. Following that was the tiger shark, and honestly, this was one of the best looking sharks in the game, hands down. The final challenge for the shark had me facing off against a giant shark on Arabian Sea. In order to unlock the next shark, first I had to reach max level with the Megamouth shark. Once I did, I unlocked Drago. Its main ability is its long neck and the fact it can walk on land. So of course, for one challenge, I had to eat 500 of any edible above water. That was tough on its own, but for the final challenge, I had to eat the birds taking over the Pacific Islands. It didn't give a specific number for how many birds that was, but I swear on my life it must have been over 1,000. And the fact I had to do it in one swim too made things so much worse. This challenge was so ridiculous, I was almost 100% sure it was bait to make you spend gems to skip it. The next shark after that was the basking shark, described as a heavy-duty shark with the widest mouth. And with the widest mouth comes the widest challenges. The challenge to collect 2 million points and collect 10,000 coins was, funny enough, the easiest challenges. Eating 10,000 fish though, that was a grind. Even still, I managed to get to the final challenge, which had me collecting trash in the Pacific, while also trying not to get eaten. The whale shark was next, and it was straight up just a whale shark. Pretty cool. That was then followed by the great white, rightfully described as a mighty and ferocious powerhouse. After that came the frenzy, a shark made up of smaller fish acting as one organism. Easily one of the coolest ideas for a shark in the game. Next was the king of the ocean, the Megalodon, which allowed me to now eat the pink jellyfish, the mines, and be able to break the final material in the game, the gem barrier. Also, check out the size of this thing next to some tiger sharks. This thing was an absolute beast. After reaching max level with the Megalodon, I was able to unlock the next shark, Big Mama. This shark is not slowed down by mine explosions or anything else for that matter. No matter what you do, this thing cannot be stopped. After that came the killer whale. The crazy thing is that killer whales do exist in this game, but they don't look like this. The way the shark is built makes me super creeped out by it. Like it's some kind of creature pretending to be a killer whale. You get what I'm saying? Uncanny Valley aside, I now had to somehow get 25 million points above water. And you'd think that would be the end of the shenanigans, but for the final challenge, I had to go through some rings before the time ran out. This was way harder than you would think it was. Next up was the atomic shark. No, it can't blow up like a nuclear bomb like I thought, but it can heal using the nuclear waste around the map, and I could also now eat the orange jellyfish. Other than that, it's just a cool looking shark. It was at this point I realized that the sharks I'm gonna need later on all go on a huge discount every day, and it's usually a different set of sharks every day. This is good because it meant I wouldn't have to grind for the pearls for the later sharks. So I decided that every day I would buy whatever shark is discounted. This choice is going to blow up in my face at some point, but we'll get there. Anyway, the next shark was the zombie shark, capable of turning other sharks into zombie allies. The bus shark needed 650k to unlock, so I got to grinding. Luckily for me, today's shark on sale was Mecha Shark Jira. This thing was not only insanely quick, but it also had a heat ray and an atomic explosion ability. But it doesn't actually start with them. You unlock upgrades for the shark by completing challenges. Luckily for me, I had already done more than enough to unlock every every upgrade. This shark was also the reason I managed to get so many coins so quickly, allowing me to easily unlock the bus shark. Now, obviously, Mechajira has its own set of challenges, but since I was using this as the only shark to grind coin, I got those challenges done without really even thinking about them. Except for the challenge to get 100 million points in one swim. No matter what I did, it just would never happen. I would always max out at about 50, 55, never even coming close to 100 million. So you know what I did? I reached down below into the gem pit and I skipped this challenge. Anyway, now it's time for the bus shark. Its ability is exactly what you think it is. A rotating saw right in its jaw. And its challenges were actually very easy. See, for some reason, once you've had a gold rush, the next time you die, if you revive yourself, you'll be put into a mega gold rush every single time. I repeated this over and over until I completed the challenges. The next sharks after that were what I call collectathon sharks. Each of them needs a certain amount of an item collected to make them available for purchase. The abyssal shark needs 200 abyssal runes, for example. Luckily, all the collectibles spawn in the same places on all the maps, so you can just keep going back and forth to the same spots and just turn your brain off until you unlock the sharks. After farming gold like a madman and unlocking a bunch of sharks both with gold and from the in-game store, the unthinkable happened. See, ever since I did the time travel method, my daily rewards stopped completely, so I decided to back up my game and uninstall it in hopes that reinstalling it would bring back my daily rewards. Big mistake. Usually when this happens, you can just log into your Google Play and everything is back the way you left it. It's supposed to give you an option of whether you want to keep the new version of your account or you want to go back to the old one with all the progress. I never got that option for some reason, meaning I lost absolutely everything. All that grinding, all those hours spent, decimated in a single moment. I obviously tried reaching out to Ubisoft to see if they could help restore my progress or at least my purchases, because even the restore purchases option didn't work. But I got nothing from them, which means money down the drain. Nothing I did worked. Ubisoft support just never got back to me. But now I was certain that this video would have to be scrapped, until I remembered the countless Get Unlimited Gems videos from back in the day. Surely that was still a thing, and it was. Alright, listen. This is kind of obvious, but I did not grind for those coins. Now, where was I? I was right here. I think I just finished this one. No, I finished this one too. I'm pretty sure this is the one that I finished. Let's finish the rest of these challenges. Okay, I know the situation is incredibly cheesy, but I didn't want to end the video early. The next shark was the Great White Veteran. This is described as the fastest great white in the ocean, and with an insane design to boot. Following that shark was the Robo Shark, capable of eating mines and then regurgitating them at enemies as a weapon. After that was the Dark Magic Shark. You'll notice all of its abilities have an unfinished textured look to them. Whatever is going on with this spoofed version of the game is messing with some of the sharks' textures, unfortunately. You also notice I'm going through the sharks incredibly quickly at this point. That's because I really want to get to the good sharks and the sharks that aren't bugged. Also, the challenges do kind of start getting repetitive, so mentioning every challenge is a bit redundant. Then there was the shark Gaia, who genuinely had some of the most annoying challenges, like getting 100 million points using the shark's abilities, as well as destroying 250 submarines with the same method. The shark can throw out mines that explode into flowers, or they can also burst out into tree roots. Either way, the challenge was so difficult because it genuinely is difficult not to swim into submarines by accident, so this took ages. But with a little bit of locking in, I got the shark done and dusted. Next was the Ancient Megalodon, which also had some untextured purple stuff going on with its abilities. And the fact that one of those abilities is self-healing is incredibly useful. Following that was the Meltdown Shark, and I know what you're thinking. This thing must carry some serious nuclear power. And you'd be close. What it does is enter a meltdown state when using its ability. This allows it to gain high speed and shoot out rays of radiation. After that was Shin Shark Jira. This is just Godzilla. Pretty cool. Next was Cosmic Alan. He's got some pretty cool dimensional power, but because of the glitch, the ability looked like purple haze. He can also just straight up fly. Then came the Abyssal Shark. You guessed it. It's got abyssal powers that are also elemental, I think. I wouldn't know because to me it's just, again, a purple haze. After that came the Mighty Matriarch. And I swear this is the second last shark with any kind of purple haze on it. I mean, this shark is literally a living asteroid, and because of the glitch, we literally can't get a full experience of that. Following that was the Quantum Shark. This thing can lay down tracks that it can then hitch a ride on. I don't really know why you would do this, but it exists. Then came the shark Francis, who had with mental powers. Kind of. At least that's what the description thing kind of said, I think. Then the shark Clowncy came in with the ability to fire itself like an elastic band across insane distances. And if you end up in the stratosphere, you can deploy balloons to just stay up there. And that leaves the final 3 sharks, starting with the Undersharker. This thing destroys everything in its path when it's sprinting. On top of that, you can also deploy a Radiant Overdrive ability which sucks in everything. But of course, there were the challenges. Pretty straightforward given I could easily complete them just by spamming my abilities. Just the fact the fish just vanish when you swim past them like this is insane. Doesn't even make sense. Bingo, that's one challenge done. Which one is that one? I think for collecting 15,000 points total with Gold Rush. Next one is kill a total of 5,000 enemies using Astral Rift or Radiant, so any of my abilities. And score a total of 60 million points with the shark. Easy peasy. For the final challenge, I had to collect some Spirit Orbs. After that was the Shark Angel. The shark has a mighty hand ability that grabs anything nearby when activated. It also has beams of light that come down from the heavens and decimate anything in the area. As you can see, once again, I could complete these challenges just by spamming the abilities. Now take a guess what my final challenge was. I had to collect Sky Orbs again. Then came the final and newest shark in the game, Shark Mirai. Speed is insane, literally the quickest shark in the game. And it's slashing enemies automatically, okay? At least in Gold Rush it's doing that. And then you can also... oh, this is peak. I'm so glad the purple haze is gone. It would have ruined this. And we have like a... no, that's insane. You see the fragments it left behind? Yeah, this might be the shark. It's got stealth too. When I say this thing was peak, I mean that with every fiber of my being. I never thought I would see a dimension slash in Hungry Shark. And thank goodness the final challenges of this run were just as straightforward as the last 2 sharks. And that marks the end of Hungry Shark World. For a second there, this video would have been scrapped. I still don't have a refund from Ubisoft, by the way. If you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing. I'll see you in the next video. Until then.